It may not seem obvious, but we are facing a man-made disaster on a global scale. In the 20 years since I first started talking about the impact of climate change on our world, conditions have changed far faster than I ever imagined.
Before we started to burn coal, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere was about 280 parts per million. It's now over 400 parts per million. And the planet gets warmer and warmer.
We are seeing the impacts of climate change now play out in real time. They're no longer subtle.
We're not just talking about an inconvenience. We're talking about people's lives, their livelihoods, and their communities being damaged.
Join the dots. It's happening. It's happening in your world. It's happening in my world. And let's be very clear about this. It is going to get much worse.
It may sound frightening, but the scientific evidence is that if we have not taken dramatic action within the next decade, we could face irreversible damage to the natural world and the collapse of our societies.
There are thousands of scientists around the world in almost every single country working to understand what will happen in the future if we don't act and we don't do more. They predict that if we carry on as we are now, where CO2 continues to increase, we would hit 1.5 degrees global warming by between 2040 and 2050.
We're on course to go through 1.5 degrees in just a few decades' time, and the models differ slightly as to exactly when. And not long after that, we're on a trajectory to go through 2 degrees.
It really becomes difficult to see at such levels of warming how we're going to maintain our agriculture such that the population of the world can actually feed itself.